Folks, welcome back into the final step of the 5 keys to a successful retirement. This is the biggest one.
Yep.
Biggest one, Zach, and it's the most overlooked, and it's the most abused by planners by not offering this to folks. A lot of folks are never going to have heard of this before this segment.
Yeah.
Let's talk about mitigating financial risk. In other words, taming it down or eliminating it as we get closer to retirement or in retirement. We can't afford to lose the money we've worked hard to build.
Yeah. And there, I believe, what we're talking about is probably the word annuities, right?
Yeah, well, the annuities are a big feature when we're talking about lifetime income, correct?
Yeah, these annuities, they have riders on them for retirement where you can't outlive the income. You might outlive your money, but you can't outlive your income.
See, that's a beautiful thing. So someone's watching right now, they've got a 401k plan, let's say $1 million in there, and they're wondering if they peeled off, let's say $500,000 of that, how much income they could buy themselves and their spouse for the rest of their life so they can never outlive with that $500,000. And you could give them a printout showing them the exact numbers ahead of time.
Right.
You can't do that in the stock market because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Here, you advance your money and you protect your money. You never lose the money, and then when you decide, you flip a switch, you get a lifetime income you can never outlive. How valuable is that?
Well, I think that, you look a generation ago, look at, your parents, your grandparents, they had something called pensions, right? And when they worked at a company, they never were told what the balance of their pension is. They were always told what's their monthly income, what's their monthly income, and that's how that's how they knew how long they needed to work, right? And annuities are doing the exact same thing. It's all about income. What does your monthly income need? Some of the things, these aren't your grandparents' pensions either. These are annuities are offering a competitive growth rate. We're hoping for a 4 to 5% growth in your money. The pension you can't outlive, so it's based not only on your life. If you're married, you can base it on your spouse's life as well. So that takes the #1 retirement concern out as well, the fear of outliving your money. We don't have to worry about that with annuities. And then if you don't use all of your money in the pension, your kids will get whatever balance is left over.
See,
so it's a win-win-win.
That's a big difference, because back in the day when you had a pension set up the way from a company, usually when you died, so did the pension. Or if you had it set up, sometimes you could set up for both spouses.
Right.
But when the second of two passed away, there was no money left to anybody else. And so somebody made a whole lot of money back then off people doing that kind of option.
Yeah.
Now there's a way where you and your family control the money, regardless of how long you live or your spouse does. Your family will inherit that money that's still left over.
Yeah, and it's very common for us to meet with somebody, and they utilize the 4% rule. That's where basically you take your portfolio balance and withdraw 4% of whatever it's worth, and you should be okay in retirement, but it's not guaranteed.
There's about a 92% chance of being okay when you do that. But my problem is if you got on a plane and the pilot got on the loudspeaker and said, hey folks, getting ready to go from Boston to LA, we've got about a 92% chance of landing safely.
How many people are
staying on that plane? 8% chance of not.
Right.
I'm pulling a slide.
Right. And
out of there.
And it doesn't take as much money to generate the same amount of income. So you have less money to generate the income stream that you need.
Is it fair to say, if you take advantage of an annuity strategy, safe money strategy, where you take some of your money and now you've got the income plan in place, you know what your income's going to be, that you can take more risk with the leftover money than you ever imagined, because you don't really, back in the day you couldn't take much risk, or you got worried about the market because if you lost it, but now you can take more risk, because even if you lost your stock market money, your pension's already taken care of.
You're taken care of. Your lifestyle's
really
okay.
Gives you a lot more control.
By using the annuity in your overall plan, which is what we call the green money, or the income bucket, if you will. The red bucket's your growth bucket. That's your fun money, your bucket list item, right?
It is.
It allows you, by structuring your overall retirement like this, it actually buys you time in your growth bucket if you don't have favorable market returns, because you don't have to use that money to live your life. The annuity's already taken care of that.
I've had clients that wanted more than one green bucket, so we have 2 or 3 or 4 different income streams coming in that they can activate at different times of their life. It really gives you a lot more control and freedom, and still keep the red bucket where you have the maximum risk. But again, the secret to retirement planning is not depending on the red bucket exclusively, because it might not be there when you need it the most.
Exactly.
The green buckets that have the lifetime income established, they're always going to be there.
And by doing different buckets, you're able to take care of inflation as well, which is something that's big in retirement.
Exactly, and also if set up correctly, maybe in some Roth bucket there, you can minimize some of the taxation as well.
Well, now we're starting to get a pretty good plan here.
There's a lot of things to put together. Well, a lot of people, they go to their investment advisor. He says, oh, you don't need those annuities. And then Ken Fisher, everybody's seen the ad. He says, I hate annuities and you should too. Yet, if you took his advice and didn't put any money in an annuity, and in the start of 2022, you'd be down about 30% right now in his portfolio by not using the annuity. So the annuity basically eliminates risk with the money you put there, and also eliminates worry of successful retirement and also market risk.
Yep.
And market timing. So folks that are in the market have a lot of things going against them they don't realize because millions of dollars are spent a day to get you to not pay attention to the things you really should be looking at.
Exactly.
Yep. So how important is it for anyone listening to make sure they get their own financial plan put together with you to show that at least the income plan that they could have based on assets they've already put aside?
Well, using the annuities in your overall income plan, you can't outlive your money. Includes your spouse, so you and your spouse are taken care of.
That's the most valuable part.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is.
And as far as from an inflation standpoint, we can take care of that. And from a tax standpoint, we can structure these to where you could have some tax advantages too by using certain.
We have a fiduciary checklist in our office, and it has checks in every single box when we put a proper strategy with risk and safety, the core and the explore together using red money and green money and making sure you have that lifetime income, passes all the fiduciary tests.
Yeah.
If you have somebody that's pushing you all the time into stocks and never telling you about lifetime income guaranteed, are they a fiduciary?
Yeah. No,
I don't think they are.
And think about, one of the things that you need in your retirement plan is healthcare, the long-term care.
That
we
too.
can use annuities that also we can attach a rider where you get a bucket of money for help for that as well.
Folks, Zach knows what he's talking about. He really has a firm grip and grasp on this financial and, more importantly, retirement planning sector. Give him a call today and get your very own personalized plan done at no cost or obligation. Zach, thanks for your time today. It's been a fantastic series here. Folks, if you'd like to meet Zach in person, make sure to give him a call at the number you see on the screen. Zach, again, appreciate your time.
Thank you.